1 Timothy 4:7-9 says, "But have nothing to do with the worldly favors for old women. On the other hand, discipline yourselves for the purpose of godliness. For a bodily discipline is only of little profit, but if godliness is profitable for all things, since it holds a promise for the present life and for the life to come." It is a trustworthy statement deserving full acceptance. If you're joining us from reading through the 6-day reading plan, today's reading is in 1 Timothy, and I encourage you to read that passage. Well, in chapter 4, verses 1-5, Paul lays out a very good case for the negative side of religious practices. Now, let me be clear. Religious practices do not accomplish what they purport to accomplish. Religious practices only create someone who is desirous of something else, but feels they must perform in order to be accepted. Now, this is completely antithetical to what the scriptures teach. On the other hand, we are to practice discipline. Our practice of discipline is different from those that would just do things for the sake of doing things. It's not wrong to fast. It's not wrong to determine you will not marry, but rather dedicate yourself to God's work. It's not wrong to temporarily remove yourself from society so that you might grow in Christ and then return so that you might mentor or disciple others. Notice in verse 8, Paul writes, "For bodily discipline is only a little profit, but godliness is profitable for all things, since it holds a promise for the present life and for the life to come." It's through bodily discipline that we can gain godliness. It is through mental discipline that we can gain godliness. The focus is not on what we do. The focus should be on the result. Now, I'll use this as an example. If we fast, when we say, "I will give up such and such for a period of time," then the focus is on us, and what we're doing is not on God. However, if I say, "I will give God such and such for a period of time," then the focus is on God, and the discipline will lead us to godliness. Now, how can we practice godliness? Well, we practice godliness through discipline. How do we practice discipline? We practice discipline through careful preparation. Now, let's assume that you want to listen to the entire Psalms once a week. On the YouTube channel, Running to Him, there's a section that will help you listen to those Psalms. It will take half an hour in the morning and 15 minutes in the evening. It's not terribly hard to get into the habit. It's harder to maintain the habit. Things just tend to get in the way, but by practicing discipline, we can accomplish that goal. In the morning, while you're fixing your breakfast or getting ready for work, you can easily listen to the Psalms. In the 15 minutes before you go to sleep, you can again listen to the Psalms. If you do this, then you will go through all 150 Psalms in a week. And over a year, that's 52 times. Now, if you listen for 10 years, you would have heard the Psalms 520 times and probably memorized a good portion of them. And you accomplish this just simply by listening. Spiritual discipline is not hard. It just takes discipline.